Well, as of this week, New Jersey state employees, including teachers, need to be vaccinated against COVID-19 or they're going to have to submit to weekly COVID testing. It's yet another controversial hardline COVID response from Governor Phil Murphy.
Now, his response to the pandemic has become a big issue in the governor's race as Governor Phil Murphy seeks re-election against Republican challenger Jack Ciattarelli.
Governor Murphy joining us this morning. We're going to talk about why he needs to stay governor of New Jersey. But how are those mandates going?
Good morning, ladies. Thank you for having me back. Listen, I think it's a very reasonable package that we'll put forward. You got to be vaccinated. If not, you got to face testing on a regular basis. And if you're in a school building, you need to wear a mask. Everybody's got to wear a mask. It doesn't bring me any joy on that last one, but that's what the CDC strongly recommends. That's what we're mandating. And I think largely people get it. Some folks are upset about it, but most folks say, you know what? We got to do what we got to do to get our arms around this public health crisis.
Some people feel masks are not mandatory. I mean, you know, there's pictures of President Biden over the weekend, you know, walking in and out of a restaurant in D.C. without a mask on. And of course, they've accused you, Governor Murphy, also of being at events without masks on where there were a lot of people indoors. I mean, do we really need masks inside?
Yeah, listen, here's the story. You do, and by the way, I always wear them going in and leaving a restaurant or any gathering. If I'm with people, I'm not sure of their vaccination status, I'm wearing a mask. But if I'm speaking to a public group from a stage, or if I'm at a table with a group of people that I know are vaccinated, I think you can have more confidence in taking it off. But if you're not sure and you're packed in tightly and you don't know the folks you're with, I think you either got to put a mask on or go outside. That's pretty clear. This thing is a lot less lethal outdoors than indoors.
Now, I know you talked about the mask requirements in schools and then requiring teachers to get vaccinated and the testing option for them. But we recently saw California implement something new, go a step further to require students to be vaccinated in order to attend school. Give us your thoughts on that, number one, and then would you require that for students in your state? I think a lot of parents would want to know if that's going to be a yes or no issue.
Yeah, at the moment, no, but that's an option. Listen, this pandemic is very humbling. Every time you think you got it figured out, it takes a turn in a direction you're not expecting. So you have to leave all options on the table. I think the next big important step is the approval by the feds of the vaccine for all of our kids under the age of 12. Let's see how that goes. We're among, if not the most vaccinated state in America. Folks have overwhelmingly done the right thing. So far, so good. But you have to leave options on the table if this thing takes a turn that's meaningfully worse than it is right now.
All right, so at the time, no, I guess we can go with that.
Yeah.
Do you want to? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I was just going to talk about property taxes. Can we talk a little bit about that? Yesterday we had Jack Ciattarelli on. Obviously, he wants your job. And he talked about property taxes. We have a little clip from the interview yesterday.
That New Jerseyans are the highest taxed people in the nation, and yet we have a governor that said that those very same people, if taxes are your issue, we're probably not your state. We need to address the tax issue in New Jersey, and we can.
Can you adjust the tax issue? Because when you say New Jersey may not be your state, I mean, are you encouraging people to leave?
No, of course not. And that was completely taken out of context, and that's a political hit. The fact of the matter is, we inherited an affordability crisis in this state, brought to you, by the way, by the likes of Chris Christie and Jack Ciattarelli, who was in the legislature before I got to Trenton. If you're a middle-class family today, you're paying less in income taxes, less for health care, less for child care, less for college. NJ transit fees have not gone up. Property taxes is a huge challenge. We've done more than any other administration has done. They're still high. We're not done fighting. But we want to make sure, listen, we're the #1 state in America to raise a family, and part of that is affordability. We want to make sure folks can afford to be here and get back all the great things that New Jersey offers.
I know, but what can you do, Governor? I mean, because, you know, right now, in the short term, lots of people are paying very high property taxes that they cannot afford.
Well, we've funded public education at an all-time record level. Why does that matter? If you're in New Jersey, 53% of your property tax bill is public education. And in the administration before us underfunded public education by over $9 billion. And that includes, by the way, the Assemblyman Chitterelli. So we've brought enormous funds to that. And when the state puts a lot of money into public education, that takes the pressure off the local property taxpayer. But this is something that we're continuing to fight against. Again, you've got the #1 public education system in America, one of the top healthcare systems, great quality of life, but we want to make sure the state's affordable.
Now, Governor Murphy, we did ask Mr. Chitterelli about that yesterday, and he said that one of the things he could do to make it a bit more affordable for people was to freeze property taxes for people over 65. Do you agree with taking some steps in lowering that? Because, I mean, I know that you've mentioned that you pledged no new taxes, and you even said that you'd hope to lower taxes, yet with your agenda for the next couple years, if you do went ahead, it's really hard to say that you are going to be able to do that without requiring the public to fund those works.
Yeah, there's no new taxes in our future as long as I'm governor, #1. But #2, here's the biggest tax increase in the history of the middle class in New Jersey. That was Donald Trump's cap on the state and local tax deduction. By the way, you've got the same thing in New York. The biggest move we could make, and I've been fighting every second since it was imposed, is to get that cap lifted. That is the biggest step we could take for property tax relief for our middle class homeowners. And again, that was brought to you by Donald Trump, a guy that Jack Chitterelli said he supported. He thought his policies were good for the nation. That was a horrible, crushing blow on New Jersey's middle class. And I'm going to fight to get it lifted as long as it takes.
Also, Governor, Jack Chitterelli was pretty critical of early voting and starting it this early. He said it cost, I don't know how, what's the price tag on this, starting it this Saturday? Because he feels like it's going to be low turnout when we could have started it, you could have started it a few days before the actual election day rather than 8 days before election day.
Yeah, I mean, listen, this is a talking point of the Republican Party, sadly, around the country, closing democracy. Whereas other states are doing that, New Jersey's opening it up, and I'm proud of that. This is exactly what we should be doing. We have 9 days straight of early in-person voting beginning this Saturday. That's a good thing. Every other state that's done this has seen participation in elections go up. Republicans, for whatever reason, and my opponent, for whatever reason, they want to close down and make democracy a more limited reality. We want to open it up, give as many people a shot to vote as possible. This is the absolute right move to take, and I'm proud that we're doing it.
It's going to cost a few bucks, though, right?
Yeah, but listen, this is democracy. I'm running against the guy who spoke at a Stop the Steal rally with white supremacists and Confederate flags. We're on the other side of that. We want as many people as possible to vote, and we should be willing to pay money to get the systems in place to allow that to happen, and that's what we've done.
All right, November 2nd, big day for you. So we are wishing you the best of luck. Thanks for joining us this morning, New Jersey Governor and Democratic candidate for Governor, Bill Murphy.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me, ladies.
Thanks, Governor.